accelerating nicely. Yeah, a little over half our fuel used up. And I'm going to start aggressively turning towards 45 just a little early here. Get a little bit of sideways sort of angular momentum going. Oh, we've got some friction. Got lots of friction. And yes, we exploded. We exploded big time. And greetings once again, primitive Earth humans. Welcome to another episode of Kerbal Space Program. Yes, let's get started. Okay, and let's see, it is nighttime. I have spent a little bit of time off camera doing a few things and stuff and junk to try and make some money. We've got nearly $500,000 Kerbal Dollaros at the moment. We did a few things. Let's see, what did we do? Looking at the archives. Yes, we did a couple things. Let's see, I think I did a thing where I ferried 4 tourists into space. That was fun. We did a few tests of some other things and stuff and junk and stuff. And what else did we do? I think, I can't remember. Let's see, did we put another satellite in orbit? I don't know if we have done that just yet, but oh yes, we do have. Looks like we've got a couple things. We did the geosynchronous orbit. I believe we did. Did we do that? We've got Butlick 1 here. We've in our polar orbit. I've got Butlick 2 and Butlick 3. Yes, which is the geosynchronous orbit. Pretty easy to do. You don't have to be synchronous over any specific point of the planet. It just has to be at this distance roughly. So I went ahead and did that off camera because it's pretty much the same as any other orbit, really. So yes, we've got that. We've got three satellites in orbit now: Butlick 1, Butlick 2, and Butlick 3. Lots of licking of the butts when it comes to satellites. So I think so I'll tell you what, I think what we're probably going to do is let's see, we got a 2-star and a 3-star. Maybe we'll go ahead and try and do one of these, position a satellite around the moon. See, this one pays a hell of a lot more money. Orbit specifics, 1 million meters, inclination, I don't know. I think this is probably the harder one, probably because they pay more money. This one wants 55,000 meters. Okay, we need you to build a satellite to our specific specifications and deploy it into a very specific orbit around the moon. Moon. Okay, so maybe we'll go ahead and try this one first. Let's see. Please note that it must be a new unmanned probe built for Jebediah Kerman's junkyard and spacecraft parts. Okay, yes. So, unmanned probe must have an antenna and be able to generate power. We want to reach the designated orbit. Okay, have materials bay on the satellite, have a thermometer. And okay, so we just need communications. We need to generate power. We need a communications thing, and materials bay and our thermometer. Okay, sure, let's accept that sucker. Go into our vehicle assembly building, and okay, I think we are going to begin with the Probodobodyne, and so that we can steer the crap out of this thing once we get it up there. So we are going to, first thing I believe is sure, let us take care of the communication-y stuff and all that junk. And let's see, we will put that guy as close to the center as possible. I don't think it really matters all that much because it's not, super duper. I don't think it really weighs anything. Does it weigh anything? Mass 0.005 tons. Not enough to really throw this thing off center. So okay, we've got that. This is going to be a satellite thing. Let's put some more science on there. Let's put a Science Junior on there. Materials bay. Yes, and that will allow us to do the materials study we're going to also need, I'm going to throw some goo on there. Just because goo is goo. Most diggity for it to be putting the goo, mystery goo on there. Put a couple of those guys on there, sure, why not? We will grab a couple of thermometers. And sure, we'll put a couple of those guys on there, right about there maybe. We're gonna need some juice, so let's put a couple of rechargeable batteries on there. I'm gonna stick them right about there and just kind of do this kind of deal here and sink them suckers down in so they blend in a little bit better. That will work for me. We want also to add some photovoltaic panels on there. In fact, you know what I think I'm gonna do? I think I'm gonna put 2 of them there. And maybe 2 of them there. Maybe even just 2 more on there. Because we need lots of juice. We're gonna come back to our science thing and grab the mystery goo. And we'll put a couple of those guys on. Just like that, I think. Sure, why not? It's a pretty groovy looking little science probe right there. Okay. Now, I think the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add a fuel tank on there. This is going to be pretty much, hopefully, with my sloppy flying, that will be enough fuel for all the adjustments we're going to need. Okay, so for our engine, I think we're going to just use our Terrier engine on here. Should be enough for orbital maneuvering and things like that, hopefully. Hopefully that will do the trick there. Let us put a, let's see, we want a, we want a stack decoupler on there. Let's lift this whole dealio up. Nope, didn't mean to grab it from there. Grab the rubber dubber dime. Let's lift this whole thing up here. And okay, now for our main kind of launch thing, we're gonna grab and maybe, I don't know, maybe 3 of these guys is gonna do it for us. So we're gonna put some big ass boosters on there. Let's grab our LVT-45 swivel rocket engine and put that sucker on there. And okay, radial decouplers. Let's grab a few of these here radial decouplers. Let's go with a 4-way symmetry. Yeah, sure, we'll put them, I don't know, maybe right about there. Hopefully, and yes, and engines. We're gonna go with these thumpers. We're gonna put 4 of these guys on there. And yeah, hopefully those will get us, I think, most of the way into orbit. Let's bring them down just a little here. And how we're doing there. So those guys are kind of sitting on the, yeah, okay. Hopefully they'll remain reasonably stable. Let's do a little aerodynamics. And grab some aerodynamic nose cones and put those on there. Yeah, maybe we might need to steer this thing just a little bit. So let's grab, sure, we'll grab some of these delta winglets, and I think maybe, sure, we'll stick them suckers right there, and hopefully that will give us enough steering. I don't know, we'll probably get pretty good amount of altitude out of these boosters here. I just hope they don't burn the crap out of all of our stuff here. Well, we'll see. We'll see if we can get this thing up there without burning off all of our photovoltaic panels and our science experiments. I guess we'll just have to see and find out. So let's exit out of here real quick and just see where we're at in relationship to the moon. And yeah, in fact, let's take a look at the orbit they expect us to achieve around the moon anyway. And where's moon? There's Moony. And there we go. We double click on the Moony Moon. And which one is it? We want the one that's for, let's see, Dinkelstein's Kerman Construction Emporium. That's not the one we want. Here we go. Jebediah Kerman's Junkyard and Spacecraft Parts. that is the orbit we're aiming at. And oh, that's a wacky looking orbit. Oh man, hopefully we can do it. And I think so far, let us take a look at all our requirements right now. We've got this conduct temperature surveys thing, which is another thing that I accepted out of foolish stupidity, because I probably won't do it. Maybe I will between episodes. Okay, let's see. Build a new unmanned probe. Okay, we want materials bay. Check, we've got that. We want a thermometer. Check, we've got that. And we want to be able to communicate with that. Check, we've got that. And generate power. Check, we've got that with our photovoltaic panels. This is costing us 18,790 Kerbal bucks to build this sucker. So, okay, I think hopefully this will do it. And real quickly here, let's check our staging right now. I think we're gonna want. Let's check. We want to have this main engine fire along with our boosters. We want to decouple after that. Decouple, then jettison our boosters. Then we want to decouple stack separation there to our orbiter when the time is right, and then fire our carrier. I think that's pretty much everything we need right there. Let's head on out. And I don't know how this thing's gonna. Hopefully this thing will fire pretty well with these boosters sitting on the pad like that. Strange it didn't quite center itself on the pad there. But first things first, I think we're going to kind of throttle down to just about a third on our main engine. Hit T for our SAS, and let's go ahead and launch the sucker. And yeah, we're going to accelerate pretty quick with this thing. Start leaning it over just a little. And I don't know, hopefully we can get into some kind of a gravity turn here. Accelerating nicely. Yeah, a little over half our fuel used up. And I'm going to start aggressively turning towards 45 just a little early here. Get a little bit of sideways sort of angular momentum going. Oh, we've got some friction. Got lots of friction. And yes, we exploded. We exploded big time. Probably because of the way we set up the where the decouplers were. So let's revert back to the vehicle assembly building. And let's see here. Let's take these guys. And I don't know. Let's move these up maybe a little bit. Go with our four-way symmetry. And put those guys back on. And no, they're not quite sticking on there right. Slip them down a little bit like that. Okay, so let us turn on our SAS, and I think we're just going to throttle back our main engine. You know, maybe way back at the beginning here. We want to fire it, but I don't want to get going too fast here. So let's see. Well, go ahead and launch. Start kind of rolling over a little bit. And I think I'm going to be a little bit aggressive here and maybe roll her over. Oh, no, we want to try to keep her straight here so we don't make our orbit all crazy, scary, goofy. And we're throttling up all the way. Let's see. Let's kind of try to keep ourselves aligned properly here. And I think I'm going to bring her over. Okay, let's check our map. See how we're doing. Bring up our NavBall. I think we can go ahead and roll her over. Horizon-wise, how's our... Okay, yes. I'm going to make sure our inclination doesn't get all wacky. Oops. Well. And we might be able to get this guy into orbit. Okay. Oh. Let's get it right here. Point her at the horizon. If we can get our periapsis up, it would be nice. And okay, well, close enough. And we're flipping all over everywhere. Because we suck at this and we're pretty sloppy. So, okay. Stop that rotation if we can. And I think, sure, we're just gonna go ahead and once the ass end is pointed towards Kerbin here, we'll jettison that. Okay, there we go. And okay, let's go ahead and just add a maneuver here. And we'll just put ourselves into an orbit. Could have been a better looking orbit, but it's not going to be, unfortunately. Unfortunately, it looks pretty ugly. We're way up here to 350,000. Okay, I don't know, maybe we can... Maybe we can do this. Do a little normal burn or something. And give us a little bit more of a rounder orbit. What's that going to give us? Sure, okay. Let's point towards our vector. Whoa. And I think we're already past, so... Let's go ahead and fire. And sure, that's good enough. I guess that's going to be good enough as long as we're in orbit. And a pretty good equatorial orbit at the moment. Okay. Excellent. We're maybe a little bit late, I think, for our transfer maneuver. But we might have to just go around the planet once. So let's just kind of time warp forward a little bit. Okay, great. And let's see, what we're going to want to do is just, I think, about 90 degrees here. We're going to add a maneuver. And we're going to bring that out until we get an encounter with the moon. And there we go. Whoop. It came pretty quick. And yeah, how close of one we can get here. Okay, let's go ahead and get ourselves pointed at our burn vector here, our target vector, and we're just going to go ahead and warp around to the maneuver. And we got an estimated 40-second burn time, so we're going to hit it about 20 seconds before. Let's just warp forward a little bit more, and we'll hit it. I guess we'll hit it right about now. We'll just go ahead and throttle up and start to just kind of throttle down a little bit. How are we doing? Okay, throttle her up. We're gonna bring this out till we see that encounter hit. Watching our fuel, because we're gonna need to adjust this once we get to the moon. And we've got a pretty wacky sort of inclination that we've got to hit to once we get to the moon. Okay, and then we'll start to throttle down a little bit so we can a little bit more accuracy. Yeah, hopefully. And oh, how's that look? How does that look? Get a closer look at it here, and maybe moon encounter. Kind of hard to tell. Okay, well, I think we're just gonna go ahead and let's just warp forward. And we'll just warp forward until we're in the moon's sphere of influence. Being careful we don't go too fast, because we're gonna have to do another maneuver. Once we hit this little spot here, we will be in the moon's sphere of influence. Okay, we have transferred to the moon's sphere of influence now. Alrighty. So, we're gonna add a maneuver here. We're gonna put her right about here. I don't know if we're gonna be able to do this. And let's see, okay. Bringing her way, way, way down. If we, if we've got enough fuel to do this. Hopefully we do. Just kind of get it roughly, I guess, the shape of this here. Alrighty, and we got about 55 minutes 38 seconds until our 26-second burn. So let's get pointed onto that burn vector. And we're going to go ahead and time accelerate forward, let the moon catch up to us and grab our little butts. Being careful not to, don't go too far. Okay, we'll go with 50 times. Okay, and slowing her down. And we'll hit it about 14 seconds. Let's time accelerate forward just a little bit till we get to about the 15 seconds. And sure, good enough. Let's go ahead and throttle up. And throttle down a little bit. We want to get this as accurately as possible. Oh, that didn't quite give us what we needed here. Okay, so we've successfully sort of captured ourselves, or achieved a moon sort of capture type thing here. But I think what we're going to need to do is we're going to have to do another burn here. Let's point ourselves towards prograde here. Where is our prograde vector? There it is. Oop. And just give a little bit of burn to kind of widen out here. And I don't know, maybe that's might be good enough. And I've already noticed that one of the problems we're having is we're orbiting in entirely the opposite direction. Fortunately, there's not a whole lot of moon gravity, but I don't know if we'll be able to do this, but I think we're going to have to do just a really hard retrograde burn to try and reverse our orbit. Probably should have paid attention to that when we did our encounter. And let's see if we can even do this. Can we reverse our orbit? And have enough fuel to do it? Is it possible? boy, oh boy, oh boy. Sure. Sure, that'll work. Okay. Tricky part now. Add a maneuver. We reversed our orbit. Oh man, oh man. Oh, the fuel wastage. Scott Manley would be very displeased. Okay, let's see. Do our little maneuver there. And okay, let's try that. What's that gonna take? It doesn't even tell us how much of a burn we're gonna need. But we are sort of getting down to it on the fuel. So let's go ahead and time accelerate forward. Go in the opposite direction now. That took a lot of fuel. And we'll get ourselves around 1,000 times time acceleration. And let's see, let's just do a little squirt there. Okay, 5-second burn. I think we've got enough fuel for that. I'm pretty sure we got enough fuel for that. Let's get a little closer to our burn. And sure, let's hit it right here at about 3 seconds. Sure, why not? And bringing her down a little bit more, a little bit more. How's that? How's that looking? Let's see if that hits it for us. And sure enough, that gets it. Alrighty, so we've completed that contract. Ooh, yeah, that was pretty tricky, especially since we approached the moon on the wrong side. See, this is what happens if you approach the moon not from behind. And we came from the front side of it and got ourselves into a reverse rotation orbit there. But fortunately, like I say, the moon doesn't have super hardcore gravity, so we're able to just point retrograde and just literally reverse our orbit and have enough fuel to do it. Go back to our craft right now, and let's maybe do just a little bit of science. I don't think we've done any science at all, so let's from the moon here, so we'll observe our material bay. Sure, we're going to keep that data. Let's observe the mystery goo, and we will keep that data as well. Might as well observe the second one, see if we get any more out of it. Sure we do. And let's observe our temperatures. Log the temperature. We'll keep that. Log the temperature, and we'll keep that data as well. Okay, and how are we doing? We've got good sun exposure on our solar panels there, so let's go ahead and transmit data. Hopefully it will maintain enough juice to transfer the data now. Maybe not. It's just barely holding on there. Sweet, hopefully we got some science out of that. And, alrighty. Comms done. Okay, excellent. So, I think, yes, we can go ahead and return to the Space Center and see how much science we got out of that. A little bit. Yeah, see, we done completed the crap out of our contract there. We got ourselves 107,000 credits for that. Gravy. A little bit of science. Okay, and we got here world first milestones. Yes. We have our first flyby by the moon. We have our first escape the gravitational influence of Kerbal. We have first entered orbit of the moon, and we have a first suborbital spaceflight. spaceflight, and we have gathered first scientific data from around the moon. Excellent, excellent, excellent. I think we can delete the crap out of all of these. Sweet, and we've got 677,000 Kerbal Deleros at the moment. Let's see. What do we have? We have a rendezvous 2 vessels, and finally we got some rescue missions, which is what I was looking to get. So we will do that in the next episode. So if you enjoyed this video, please do remember to hit that like button, rate, comment, share, subscribe, and always obey your alien overlords, or you will be probed in your bunghole. And once again, this is AlienPet13, signing off. Probe you later.